job time after time in the playoffs against Detroit. You went in, runners at first and third, nobody down, you got out of it. Runners at first and third, one out, you got out of it. You've never been in a bigger jam than here today. What did you say to yourself? I just trying to find 6 outs in my glove when I went in. That's all. I tell you, I was tired yesterday, and I went out there today. I didn't think I could go two innings. When I saw it, I felt bad. I got out there, and all of a sudden everything started clicking together. I was breaking, and I saw my fastball where I wanted. Riley, right before you made the pitch for the with runners at second and third after bench stole, you had a 3-2 count. I noticed you took that ball 2 or 3 times and said something to yourself. Yeah, I was standing a little prayer out there. I tell you, that's a lie. Ronnie, you're sneaking up behind you. You got catfish under behind you. I've got John all the way to talk to catfish first. All right, Jim Hunter, you went in relief today.
Hey there, everybody. It's CP Cards and Dice, and welcome to another presentation of the 71 Swinging A's. And we're going to be playing a game that I consider to be a really heck of a pitching matchup. It's going to be Vita Blue versus Jimmy Palmer. We are in Baltimore at Memorial Stadium, and we are right about to get underway here with the action. For the A's, it's going to be Campaneris leading off at shortstop, Rudy in left. Batting second, batting third is Reggie Jackson, and cleanup is a brand new first baseman for the A's, first baseman Mike Epstein. So we're excited to have him on the team. And then batting fifth is Sal Bando, the third baseman. Batting sixth is center fielder Rick Monday. Batting seventh is Dave Duncan. Larry Brown, the second baseman. Batting eighth, he's resting Dick Green. And then batting ninth is Vita Blue. For the Orioles, it's going to be Belanger at shortstop, Blair in center field. Batting third is Frank Robinson, the right fielder. Boog Powell, the first baseman, batting cleanup. Batting fifth is Motton, the left fielder. Robinson, the third baseman, batting sixth. Batting seventh is Dave Johnson, the second baseman. Batting eighth is Andy Etchebarren, the catcher. And batting ninth is Jimmy Palmer. So we are ready to roll, and I have a new dice tower. It's much noisier than my stealth dice tower, but my stealth dice tower is giving me a serious issue because there's one last board. I don't know if you can see that. There's a board right in here. It's not angled enough, so the dice don't come out. They kind of lie underneath this tower, so you can't read one or two of the dice usually. They stay under there. Now this one has an angled last little shelf there, and the dice come all the way out and they hit over here, and it's much easier to read. So anyway, I gave up on that old one, even though I love it because it's very quiet. I asked them if they could make these with the felt. You're going to see it's very loud, and I have both doors shut, so hopefully this won't bother anybody. And we're right about to get started. It's going to be Bert Campaneris against Jim Palmer. Jim Palmer looks in for the sign. And here we go. It is deep drive baseball, 3 10-sided die. You read the red, then the white. So it's going to be a 33. And then the out is the 8. That's a fly ball to right field. 1 up, 1 down. Now, after every inning of play or 2, I will input information into my data keeper because that also keeps me on track as well. Joe Rudy's next. That's an 84 and a 0. This is going to be off the pitcher's card. That's lined and caught by the first baseman, Boog Powell. 2 up, 2 down. And it's Reggie Jackson with a 93 and an 8. That's a fly ball, left field. And right there is Motton, and he makes the catch. 3 up, 3 down. Mark Belanger is leading it off against Vita Blue in the bottom of the first. 76, that's a K. Belanger down swinging. 1 up, 1 down. And a 0-1, that's a deep drive off Paul Blair's card. And a 6 is going to be potentially a 43. That's going to be pull down the line to left field corner. After it is the left fielder Joe Rudy. And around first, throw to second, not in time, so Blair a 1-out double. Let's start rolling that 20-sided die to check for wild pitches. That's a 48 and a 6, and that is a hard hit ground ball at the shortstop. It's going to look Blair back to second, over to first. 2 out. And it's a 69er, and that's strike 3. And Powell strikes out. Big strikeout for Catfish Hunter. No runs, 1 hit. Top of the second now. And it's a 47, and that's going to be an out, and that's a fly ball center field. So that's the first at bat for Mike Epstein with the Oakland A's. It's good to have him on board. Sal Bando's next with a 96 and a 6. That's off the pitcher's card, and that's a grounder to the shortstop, Belanger, and fires the first, then gets Bando. 2 up, 2 down. And Rick Monday, 45 and a 2. And the 2 says grounded to the first baseman. Powell's going to take it himself and beats Monday to the bag. No runs, no hits. We go to the bottom of the second. Kurt Motton. And that's an 80. And a 0 is a line and caught by the second baseman, Larry Brown. So hit it right on the screws, but right at Brown. Positioned perfectly, and it's Brooks Robinson with a 62. That's a K. Vita Blue with a record of 5 and 2 in our replay, with an ERA, a very low ERA of 0.61 or something to that effect. It's Davey Johnson with an 83 and a 6, and that's a rip to the shortstop who scoops it up and fires the first in time. No runs, no hits. Going to put some data very quickly. So 97. And then it was K260K. 263 and K. That was an 863U. And it was an L4K. And a 6-3. That's 2 innings. We're at the top of the third inning. It's going to be Duncan Brown and Blue. Here we go. The pitch from Palmer, 0-9. That's going to be a little ground ball and through the left side for a base hit. So Duncan's on at first. Duncan is a S runner. Got to keep that in mind. And that's going to be a 19. Brown, a 19 is some sort of an out, and that is popped up. Middle infield. Shortstop, Belanger calls for it, makes the catch. Vita Blue is, whoa, horsey, hold on there. All right, Vita Blue, 31. And that is a 9er. That's a fly to center field. On the run is Blair in the gap and runs it down. So Blue gave it a ride. 2 outs. And it's Bird Campaneris. And that's going to be a 0-9, and that's line base hit to left. Duncan is going to be average, and we're going to hold Duncan at second base. Actually, we're going to hold him. First and second. Joe Rudy. Looking for that one for that wild pitch potential. It's the pitch to Rudy. It's a 45 and a 3, and that is grounded to the first baseman. Powell takes it himself, and that retires the side. No runs, but 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the third, no score. It's going to be Etchebarren Palmer. And then the top of the order. That's a 2-4, and that's a strikeout. So Etchebarren now swinging. Next is Jimmy Palmer. Steps in the box. And a 32 is a K, back-to-back Ks. That's 5 Ks for Vita Blue so far in this game. Mark Belanger's next, a 98 and a 6, and that's ripped to the shortstop. Campaneris up with it, throws them out. No runs, no hits. We go to the top of the fourth. Duncan led us off with a single, a pop. Let's see, single, 6, 8, single, and then it was a U, a 3U. Then it was a KK63. All right. Reggie Jackson against Jimmy Palmer. It's a 64, and that is a strikeout. So Palmer blows a fastball by Jackson. One up and one down. Top of the fourth, Mike Epstein, 0-5, and that is line base hit, left center field. Goes the opposite way on that. So Epstein's on with a single, first hit as an A, and he's very slow. Bando. It's a 61, and that is ball 4. Runners on first and second now. With one out. Next is Rick Monday. Rick Monday with a 32 is a strikeout. 2 outs. Dave Duncan. See if we can get something out of Dave Duncan with 2 outs and 2 on. That's a 37 and a 7, and that's a deep fly ball left field. Back goes the left fielder, Monton, and he's there, makes the catch, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit. They leave 2. Bottom of the fourth, Orioles coming to bat. No score. It's going to be Paul Blair leading it off against Vita Blue, the left-hander. It's a 54, and that's going to be a little ground ball and through in the center field for a base hit. And Blair, will he try to steal? He's a -1, so he's not going to try to steal. So it's a 68 and a 7, 68 and a 7. That's a K. It was Frank Robinson. 68. That's the same thing because it was off the pitcher's card. Powell. Here's Book Powell, a 77. That's going to be a defensive checkup. And we're looking at 24. That's going to be a range check. Range check. Oh, it was range check 0-0. That's see what that turns into. Range check 0-0 is on the pitcher. And right back at Blue, and he fields it, stabs it over to first. Oh, actually, you know what? A G1, that's going to go to second. So he's going to get Blair at second, throw to first, not in time. So it's a fielder's choice. Powell is on at first. And we're going to double check that with a runner on first. A G1 is a B. It says lead runner forced out. Yep. All right. So that's 2 outs. And Powell's on at first. Kurt Monton is up. And it's a 12, so that's nothing. So here goes. That's a 38, and that's an out. It's a slow grounder. Charged by the second baseman, Brown. Throws out Monton, and that retires the side. No runs, 1 hit. We go to top of the 5th. Reggie Jackson now. Vita Blue can go 14, and Palmer can go 13. So that's a 34 and a 7. That's a shallow fly to left field. The racing in is Monton. He gets there for out number 1. Next is Vita Blue. No score in the top of the 5th. It's a 49 and a 4, and that is chopped to third. Brooks Robinson fires the first. Easy out. 2 down. Bergkamp and Harris. It's a 71, and that's a K. Campaneris strikes out and retires the side. 3 up, 3 down. Brooks Robinson leads us off. Vita Blue with an 11. That's a line drive, base hit, center field, played on the hop by the center fielder Monday. So Brooks is on with a single. Next is Davey Johnson. That's a 21 and an 8. That's a defensive check. A 20 is going to be range. And a 91. A range 91 is to the right fielder, Reggie. And Reggie on the run towards the line and dives and makes an amazing catch. Reggie Jackson in right field dives for the ball and makes the catch. Andy Etchebarren. And back to first is Brooks Robinson. And that is a 56. And a 56 is going to be ball 4. So first and second. Jimmy Palmer's up. Here's the pitch from Blue to Palmer. We're looking for that 1. We didn't get it. That's a 66, and that's strike 3. 2 out. Top of the order. Belanger, no score. First and second, 2 out. Mark Belanger against Vita Blue. Bottom of the 5th. It's a 91 and a 7. That's a fly ball right field. Right there is Jackson. Under it, makes the catch. 1 run. No runs, 1 hit, top of the 6th. We're going to input some data very quickly here. Reggie Jackson, K, single walk. K, single walk, K, and 7. And then it was single K, fielder's choice. And a ground ball to second base. And then it was 753K. And it was single 9 walk. I'm using the PC game, replay PC game. And F9. And we'll go Gio Rudy, top of the 6th, no score. I expected this game to be a pitching duel of 69. That's a K. So Rudy down swinging for the first time. Oh, that's a 0-0. And that's potential. Reggie Jackson gets a low to 1 deep drive to right center field. And that ball is going to be out of here. Reggie Jackson puts the Oakland A's up by 1 run. He connects, drives one deep into the night in right center field. And it's 1-0 A's. Next is Mike Epstein. Mike Epstein's got some power as well. Hit 19 home runs. And here's the pitch. That's an 11. That's ball 4. So after giving up the home run, that's a walk on 4 pitches to Mike Epstein. So you can see that the young Palmer is a little bit shaken up. I mean, he's been pitching a masterful game here, and that's a 7. It's a fly ball right field for Bando. And right there is the right fielder, Robinson. Oh, I forgot to do that. Wait a second. He's a walk. See that again. And it's a 95 and a 7. And that's a fly to right, and that retires the side. But it's 1 run and 1 hit. The A's lead at 1-0. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Paul Blair leading us off. Vita Blue versus Paul Blair. That's a 28 and a 7. That's hit hard at the shortstop, Campaneris, up the middle, and he's after it, and he gets there. Running through to first and in time. Frank Robinson with a 74. That's a strikeout. And now it's Big Powell, lefty versus lefty. That's a 60, and that is strike 3, and that retires the side. 3 up, 3 down for Blue. All right, Dave Duncan. That's a 96 and a 9, and that's a fly ball shallow center. Racing in is Blair, and he gets there. Larry Brown with a 74. That's going to be a defensive check. And a 40 is going to be a ground ball to the third baseman, and Brooks Robinson bobbles it and throw to first. Not in time. Brown beat it out, and let's see what the scoreboard says, and it's going to say E5. They don't like to give Robinson errors, but they're forced to in this case. He clearly would have had him had he not bobbled the ball. So Vita Blue now. Again, we're throwing that 20-sided die. It's 1-0 in the top of the 7th. After this inning, I'm going to put now, that's 0-0 on Vita Blue. That's going to be a hit by pitch. So Blue gets plunked. He's on at first and second with 1 out. Excuse me. And now it's Bert Campaneris. Again, we're looking for that 1 for the wild pitch. We're not getting it. Here's the pitch to Campaneris, a 59, and that is ball 4. The bases are loaded. Brown is at third, Blue's at second, Campaneris is at first, top of the 7th, 1-0 A's. Joe Rudy infield's in for the Orioles on a 74 and an 8, and that's going to be a defensive check on off Palmer's card. And a 70 is going to take us to the error section. And a 70 is going to be a potential error on the second baseman, depending on what he is. Is he a 3 or is he a 4? Second baseman is Davy Johnson. Is Davy Johnson a 3 or a 4? That makes all the difference. He's a 3, and he's going to bobble it, and everybody is safe. Run scores on that. Everybody is safe. It's going to be an E4, so 2 big errors by the Orioles here in this inning allow the A's to pick up an insurance run. And now it's Reginald Martinez-Jackson. There's nobody warming up in the Orioles bullpen. We already got 7. 7 and 3 is 10. And he can go 13. All right, 17 is not going to do it. Here's the pitch to Jackson. Infield is in. That's a 52. That's a deep drive. Uh-oh, did Reggie get a hold of another one here? And he did. That ball's gone. Grand slam, Reginald Martinez-Jackson. And he's taking his time around the bases. He's really enjoying this home run. Grand slam against Jim Palmer. Holy smokes. So we're going to have to write right field, right field, right field. And the score now, they scored 5 runs in this inning. And 1, 2, actually, they're all unearned. All the runs in this inning are unearned, but that's going to be it for Palmer. So Palmer is going to get replaced after giving up a grand slam home run to Reginald Martinez-Jackson, Mr. October, number 9. And it's going to be Pete Rickert is coming in. Pete Rickert is coming in for the Orioles. Also, we have Dick Hall if we want. We can bring either one of those. Let's see who can go longer. Dick Hall can go too. And yeah, we're going to bring in Dick Hall. So Hall's going to come in to replace Palmer. Let's make sure we don't have to pull a double switch. We may pull a double switch just so we don't have to change pitchers anymore. We're going to bring in Chico Salmon to play first base. So Salmon comes into play first base, and we're pulling a double switch, and that'll basically close out the game most likely for us. And so up to this point, we are going to input some data. Let's start off in the top of the 6th. It was a K. Let's see, K. It was then Jackson with a home run in the top of the 6th. It was a walk, a fly out to right, and then another fly out to right. And then in the bottom of the inning, it was a 6-3 KK. And then it was the top of the inning where it all started off with a fly out the center, but then it was an E on Brooks Robinson, an E5, followed by a hit batsman. So Vita Blue got hit. And then it was a walk. Another error, this time on Davy Johnson. That allowed a run to score. And then up came Reginald Martinez-Jackson with the bases loaded. And here's the pitch from Palmer. That's a deep drive to right field. Back goes to Robinson. Blair is right with him. They look up, and that's gone. Grand slam. Reginald Martinez-Jackson. Jackson unloaded on that Jim Palmer fastball and drove it deep into the night. And it's now a 6-0 ball game with the Oakland A's ahead. And that was the call on that home run. And now it's Mike Epstein, and we're going to bring in a new pitcher, Dick Hall. And we are out, and then actually we're pulling a double switch. So let's undo that. Let's undo that. Let's cancel. Let's undo the sub, and let's pull a double switch here. I figured out how to do it. It took me a while not because it's complicated. It's actually real easy. Chico Salmon is going to be playing first base. He's going to be in the 9th spot. And then Powell is going to get replaced by a pitcher, and that pitcher is going to be Hall. And that's it. That's how simple that was. And here we go. We confirm, and we're ready to roll. So it's Dick Hall. Let's see if I can find him. Dick Hall versus Mike Epstein. He's new to the Oakland team. This is his first game with the A's. He will be the Oakland A's first baseman for the rest of the season. Here goes. That's a 79 and a 3, and that is grounded to the third baseman, Robinson. He's up with it over to first. That's 2 outs. So that was 1 for 3 for Epstein tonight. So he's gotten his first hit as an Oakland A. That's a 25 and a 6. That's going to be a defensive check. 62. We don't know what that's going to be, but we'll find out. 62 says it's a ground ball to the first baseman. Chico Salmon's a 3, and he's going to bobble it, and everybody's safe. That's the 3rd error of this inning on the Baltimore Orioles. So Bando's on an error by the first baseman who just came in, Chico Salmon. And here is Rick Monday with a 16, and that's ball 4. And this is going to take us to the next inning. So it's going to be Rick Monday walks first and second. And it's going to be Dave Duncan who started us off. There's no one there. Here's the pitch from Dick Hall to Dave Duncan. That's a 0-0. That's a deep drive off Duncan's card. Let's see what that becomes. An 81 is going to be a double off the wall. And into second base is Duncan. Scoring is Bando. And Monday, I'm going to hold Monday with 2 outs and a double. As Monday become fast, he'll score. He does become fast with 2 outs. And on the double, he will score. So both runs score on the double by Duncan. So 2 RBIs. And it's Larry Brown now. Oh, that's a 1, so we may get a wild pitch here. Let's see what happens. That's going to be a 66. I believe that may be a wild pitch. Let's see. And that's right here. 66 says pitcher is, if pitcher is not a position player, it's a pickoff. So if pitcher is not, so it's a pitch, right? Okay, so the pitcher, so Dick Hall picks off Duncan at second base, and I guess it would be 1-6, and that ends the inning on a pickoff. All right, so we're going to finish inputting that information. So Epstein grounded out to the third baseman, 5-3, and that brought up Bando, who reached on an error by the first baseman. Then it was a walk. And then it was a double by Duncan. Both runs are going to score. And then Duncan gets picked off at second base. Let's see what it says there. Pick off Duncan out at second. Beautiful. 1-6. Done. Oh, I love replay baseball. Love it. Makes my life so much easier. You don't know. Because I can't keep up with a lot of this stuff. I forget to do stuff if I don't have like a second. It watches over me. The computer watches over me, so I don't goof up. All right, so that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 runs for the A's in that inning on 3 errors and 1 hit, a walk, 2 walks, a hit by pitcher, and 3 errors. Holy smokes. The big hit was the grand slam by Reginald Martinez-Jackson, his second home run of the day. So he's clearly going to be the MVP of the day. Maybe co-MVPs with Vita Blue, who's got a shutout going. Vita Blue's allowed 2, 3 hits and a walk so far in this game. He struck out 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, Kurt Monton against Vita Blue, bottom of the 7th. going to be a 64, and that is a strikeout. Blue blows a fastball by Mountain. And next is Brooks Robinson at 83 and a 6. That's hit hard up the middle, and Campaneris gets there, throws on the run, and in time. Good play by Bert Campaneris. Campy Campaneris with a great play. And it's Davey Johnson with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. Here's the pitch, 37. That's going to be a 4, and that's hit hard at the third baseman. Oh, nice backhand stab. Gets up, throw to first, and in time, Sal Bando with a web gem. Da-da-da, da-da-da. I don't think they had that in 1971. Great play by Sal Bando. All right, it's going to be the top of the 8th inning. Score is 8-0. Let's quickly check out the hits allowed by Vita Blue's pitching a heck of a game. The ERA is like 60, and it's gone below that today with more shutout innings. He's got a ton of strikeouts. I love to do the red on the strikeouts when Vita Blue pitches. Look at this. Holy smokes. All right. Wow, that's a lot of Ks. And he had a walk here. Got to get that in there. But that's it. 3 hits and 1 walk in 7 innings, 7 complete innings. It's going to be Larry Brown leading us off against Dick Hall. It's going to be 45 and a 1, and that is line. And oh no, that's popped up. Larry Brown. Let me see. Let's try that again because I was looking at the wrong. It's the top of the 8th. So that's a 45 and a 1, and that is a pop-up. Shortstop Belanger right there. 1 away. Vita Blue is next. Vita Blue with a 50. It's a 55, and that is a deep drive off Blue. A deep drive off Blue, so it's going to be, and we roll a 2, so that's less than a, so we're going to get into the deep drive section. We're going to get into Blue's deep drive section, 82, and that's going to be, that's going to be an out, fly ball center field. 2 out. And it's Bert Campaneris. 37, and that is a 5, is a ground ball charged by the second baseman Johnson. Throws on the run and gets Campaneris by half a step, but Campy doesn't think so. No runs, no hits. We go to the bottom of the 8th. And the Echeverria, Chico Salmon, and Mark Belanger with the pitch from Blue, 62, and that is a K. Another K for Blue. Chico Salmon is up now. That's a 60. And a 60 is a strikeout, back-to-back Ks for Vita Blue. He seems to be getting stronger as the game goes on. And it's a 53 this time. That's going to be a little ground ball and through into center field. That is the 4th hit of the game for the O's. And it's an 81 and a 2, and that is grounded to the first baseman. Epstein is right there. Steps on the bag, and that retires the side. No runs and 1 hit. We're going to input some information here. Monton struck out 6-3. Let's see. Struck out 6-3. And then it was a 5-3. And then it was the top of the 8th, where it was 6-8 and 4-3. And the bottom of the 8th was KK. Single, and then a grounded at first. And we go to the top of the 9th inning. Joe Rudy, Reggie Jackson, and Mike Epstein. Here's the pitch from Hall. Let's see how many. Hall went, gave up. Wait a second. He did give up a hit there. So Hall should be done. So Hall is pretty much done. You know what? We're going to let him go one more. Fatigued. He'll be fatigued, so we'll play with the fatigue rule a little bit. Here goes Joe Rudy. That's a 59. That's going to be a single. So Rudy's on with a base knock here in the top of the ninth against Dick Hall. That's a 10. And the 10 is line drive base hit. And Rudy's going to stop at second. Just keep it simple here. It's late. And it's Mike Epstein with 2 on and nobody out. And let's see, 77. Going to be a 27. 27 is a strikeout. No, 77 is going to be defensive check. Defensive check of 37. That may take us into range. 37, no, 37 does not take us into range. 37 is going to be an error on the first baseman. Second error on Chico Salmon. That's going to load the bases. Holy smokes, 4 errors on the Orioles. Bases are loaded for Sal Bando. Here's a pitch. It's a 32 and a 0. That's going to be line and caught by the shortstop. It may be a double play. They may be able to turn one, and they don't. So it's L6. I did not have the infield in here down by 8 runs. And that's a 2. Again, so it's back. Rick Monday of 59, and that is going to be line base hit. Let's see, with 1 out, 1 run's going to score on that. Everybody else is going to hold up. RBI single by Rick Monday. Dave Duncan is next. That's a 94, and the 9 is a deep drive to center field. That's going to be a sacrifice fly. Jackson's going to score. I don't even have to look for that. And Epstein's very slow, so he's going to stay. And then it's Larry Brown against Dick Hall. Let's see if Dick Hall can get out of this inning. Here goes. It's a 13, and that is an out. A 7 is a shallow fly ball left field. Racing in is Martin, and he makes it. And that retires the side. But it's going to be 2 runs on 3 hits. Score is now 10. 10 zip. 10 zip. All right. It's going to be Frank Robinson leading us off in the bottom of the 9th. It's an 11, and that is line base hit center field. Played on the hop by the center fielder, Rick Monday. It's a 47 and a 4. And a 47 and a 4 is a ground ball to shortstop. It's going to flip to second for 1, throw to first, not in time. So, oh wait, that was a pinch hitter. And we're going to bring in, who are we going to bring to pinch hit here? Chopay. I don't know, Chopay's a lefty, so we can't bring in Chopay. Let's see, Merv Rettenmund will come in to pitch. Merv Rettenmund. And that was 47 off Rettenmund. That's going to be the same result, fielder's choice. It's going to be Kurt Martin. Went out, runner on first. And it's a 36 and a 7, and that is going to be a deep drive left field. Hustling back is Rudy to the track and makes the catch. So Martin gave it a ride. And that's 2 outs. We're in the bottom of the 9th. It's 10-0 A's. And that's a 0-8. Brooks Robinson, that's line base hit. Stopping at second is Rettenmund. So Dave Johnson is up next. There's some action in the bullpen for the A's, and that's a 78. That's going to be a test, some sort of defensive test, a 52. It's going to be a potential error. We'll see what that turns into. 52 is a comebacker, and it's booted by Blue. So everybody's safe. Bases are loaded. E1. That's the first error. The O's have 4 errors today. The A's have 1 now. Bases are loaded for Andy Etchebarren. 2 outs. It's 10-0. That's a 61, and that is a strikeout, and the ball game is over. Vita Blue with 9, 12, 13. Beautiful. He had 14. He still could have got another one. Vita Blue, amazing. Shuts down the O's offense. Strikes out a bunch, and including the last batter. Wow, what a game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 hitter. He pitches a 6-hitter, 6-hit shutout for Vita Blue. Knew this game was going to be one of those games. That's why I had to stream this game. I got to be more selective in the games I stream, because otherwise. And we're going to the top of the 9th. It was Joe Rudy who led it off with a single, back-to-back singles. And then it was an error on the first baseman. That loaded the bases. It's a line out to the shortstop for Bando. Oh. We're doing the top of the 9th. Final score is 10-0. And then it was Rick Monday. Rick Monday singled, RBI single. And then it was sacrifice fly to right. Brought in another run. And it was a fly ball to left field. That was it. And I don't even know if I went with the fatigue rule the whole way down. I think I did. I'm just not sure if I did. I can't remember. It doesn't matter. Game was over by that time. Then it was the bottom of the 9th, and it was a single by Frank Robinson, who started off the inning. It was a quick fielder's choice. Got to bring in that pinch hitter. You see, this is where the game helps me out. It was Merv Rittenman came into pinch hit into that fielder's choice. And it was a fly out to left. That made it 2 outs in the 9th. It was a single, an error on the pitcher Blue that loaded the bases with 2 outs, and then it was Andy Etchebarren. And Vita Blue reached back for a little extra and blew a fastball by Etchebarren. And that was the ball game. So Vita Blue wins it, and he improves his record to 6-2. Jim Palmer drops to 5-2. Vita Blue becomes the MVP, but with the co-MVP with Reginald Martinez Jackson, who had quite a day for himself. 3 hits, 5 RBIs, 2 home runs, raised his average to 315. And he is having a terrific month of May in 1971. He's got 4 home runs already in May. And he didn't hit any in April, but he's got 4 in May, so this is exciting for him. And Vita Blue, again, an impressive ERA, 0.56 ERA for Vita Blue. In reality, had a 1.82 ERA. Yeah, so we're going to quickly do our coloring. My adult coloring book is what my wife calls it. And I'm doing my adult coloring book. And all the outs in the air get blue. All the outs on the ground are going to be gray. And after this, I'm going to change over to a new game. I'm going to play replay baseball for a couple of days. I just got a couple of sets delivered to me. I want to play the 2000 World Series, and then I want to play the 2000 American League Championship Series between the Yankees and the Red Sox, the one where the Red Sox came back and won 4 in a row. That was kind of traumatic for Yankee fans. So I want to replay that. And the Yankees, I imagine, are going to win it. I hope. And that's it. Vita Blue wins, goes to 6-2, and Palmer drops to 5-2. Palmer went 6 in the third, and then it was Dick Hall who went 2.2. We're going to do all that now. Let's take a look at how many hits the A's picked up. They picked up 3 in the ninth. They had a bunch in actually 2 hits in the seventh. I thought it was 1. It was 2. 2 hits in the seventh. Another one in the sixth. In the fourth. And then that's it. And the walks, let's take a quick look at the walks. There's a walk there. Another walk there. Walk. So 4 walks. 4 walks and a hit batsman. For Palmer, 4 walks, hit batsman. Strikeouts, he had 4 strikeouts. And he ended up giving up 1 earned run, but none of these were earned. That should have been an out. That should have been an out. So gave up 1 earned run. Total of 8 runs, but only 1 earned run. How do you like that? Oh, wait a second. Did Rickert give up some runs here? So he started here. Then Rickert came in here. That was a second out. That was an error. It was a walk. And it was a 2-run double. So you know what? I'm going to give Rickert, that's 6. I'll take 2 away from here. Give Rickert 2, but make only 1 of them earned. Actually, then Rickert's going to do a couple more. So he's going to get 4 total. And then 3 out of the 4 are going to be, oh, wait. No. That's going to be another error. That's, oh, my God. That's going to be wrong there. Only 1. Wow. A lot of errors. They made 4 errors today. The O's did. So we're going to give Hall only 1 earned run that he allowed. I'm not sure. Let's see. Am I right? No. You know what? The game gave him none. And then I'm right on Palmer, though. Gave him 1. Okay. I was close. Again, so that was 1, 1, 0, 0, 0, 0. Oh, gave up 2 big home runs to Reggie Jackson. Palmer did. And no wild pitches, and he loses it. All right. And then it was Blue with 9, 6, 0, 0, 1. 13 strikeouts for Vita Blue. Holy smokes. Dominated. No wild pitches. Holy smokes. Vita Blue. What a performance. What a performance. So total 10 hits, 9 hits. So it was 5 and 4, 9 hits total. Allowed 1 error and 4 errors for the Orioles. And that's it. That's so I believe. Let's close this out and go and see who the A's play next. I don't know. Let's see who they play next. The PC Replay Baseball will show me. They play Cleveland next, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to move on to a new game. Had a blast. This game was probably the most fun that I've had. I mean, watching that performance, that pitching performance was real impressive for sure. Wow. So my Oakland A's replays continue and blessed. And we're going to wrap these up and get started with replay baseball. Start doing that. I got my cards here, and as you can see, they're a little bit different cards. They're not as colorful, but I have my Yankees. It's going to be the 2000 World Series between the Yankees and the Mets. And I have my here's my scorecard. October 21st, the year 2000. The Mets are visiting, so they're going to be on top. And this is going to be a blast. I'm going to have a blast here doing this. So this is going to be a lot of fun. Pitchers there, and then it's going to be Andy Pettit for the Yankees against Al Leiter for the Mets. And I have replay baseball all set up. So this is CP Cards and Dice. I hope you enjoyed our presentation of the 1971 Oakland A's. And let's see the A's. Let me check out the schedule and tell you the standings. The A's are in first place by half a game over the Minnesota Twins. They're going to play Cleveland, who is not doing very well, so hopefully they can pick up a couple of games there, and they can take a little bit of a better lead. They're 19. The A's are 19-13. And that's going to be it. So this is CP Dice, and thanks for watching. I will catch you guys on the rebound. Adios. A's win it by a score of 10-0.